following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Thursday, you're looking live at the top of some kind of tent out on Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center, where tennis
coming.
will be coming. Start Saturday. Spring is here already, fellas. 65 degrees is the high. The low tonight is 42. 80 tomorrow.
Ooh, I like that.
71, 75, 70s all the way until the 13th, and then 60s, and then back up to 70s again.
Nice.
Is it going to freeze again?
I hope not. Tired of that.
Or are we done?
I hope we're done.
All right, well, let's continue the opening of the show since Jesse's not.
Most of your kids was made in the fall.
Legend of the Fall.
He is Shannon, our beloved host. He is
Nate.
3-time Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
Got lots of stories to tell. Nate Newton. We got Chris in the back. We got Josh in the back. We got Fasika in the back.
One pump.
Salt and Pepper Poppy. He's out hobnobbing with the big wigs.
He is.
In San Francisco. I am Kurt Daniels trying to fill in for him badly. Together, we are the sports sports talk equivalent of Braille people feel.
Wow, that's funny, man.
Wow.
Stutter through the open.
Wow. Wingstop is here.
Yes, sir.
All right, we made it. We made it through the open. Here we go. Yeah, Jesse's out in San Fran on Radio Row. He may or may not call in. I am wearing a Super Bowl 30 Steelers versus Cowboys shirt.
Where'd you find that?
January 28th, 1996, the last time the Dallas Cowboys were in the Super Bowl. And our friend Nate played in this exact game.
Yes.
So Atlanta, from a social standpoint, was the best Super Bowl. What was the best team you played on? Which team was the best
That
one?
first one.
Yeah.
That first one, man, we could have put that on. I don't care. We could have got Green Bay in the Ice Bowl. We'd have crushed them. Yeah, that first.
You think y'all were the best team ever?
Ever.
Really?
Ever.
That's a bold statement.
Wow.
Who was going to beat us?
Well, that's a great point.
Some of them Steelers teams would have hung in there with us, but yeah, we'd eventually started. We'd eventually got them in the end.
What was the strongest? And obviously I'm about halfway through the Netflix series, but just there hasn't been a story that I haven't heard yet. But to hear it from the guys, it puts kind of a different spin on it. Mm-hmm. But what was the strongest part of y'all's game? Was it defense? Was it offense? Was it offensive line? Was it running the ball? Was it passing the ball? Was it
if you can go back and check when we started those Super Bowl runs, our defenses were always top 5. That's why you'll hear me say, people. This is what's funny to me, is people thought if we were a top 15 to 20 defensively ranked, we would go far. I didn't buy into that last year. Mm-hmm. It takes much more than that. You're gonna have a deep, dominant defense, and don't get me wrong, everybody scores. It's when you score, and when you don't score, that makes the difference. Can your guys stand up and we had Charles Haley, Tony Tolbert, Darren Woodson, Ken Norton, Deion Sanders at one point, Pup Smith, Larry Brown. We had playmakers up and down, Tony Casillas, and everybody starred in their role, and everybody was happy and more just overjoyed to be in their role. They know who they were. They didn't try to get outside of who they were. And our defense, man, our defense was something people think I don't like, and that's kickers. Our defense was clutch, and our kickers were clutch. We never not had a clutch kicker. I understand everybody, he kicking it 70 yards and 90 yards, and that's great. But what I'm looking for is, can you tie the game to send us into overtime? Can you tie the game at the halftime? Can you tie the game coming out of halftime? And now, can you win the game? That's all I care about for a kicker. But defense and kicking game is what going to take you over the top, and that was with our strengths. Yeah. We had a dominant offense. We could run the ball. Troy could throw with great accuracy. But our defense, that's how we did the thing, man.
From 92 to 96, you were top 5 defense in points allowed, fewest points allowed. And I think 4 of those 5 years, top 5 yards allowed.
Brother, we didn't them boys didn't play, man. They took that serious, and that's what I tell people. And you look at the Super Bowl today coming up, you don't have the kid in KC. You don't have Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. You don't have those guys. Right now, you have 2 unproven commodities at quarterback. Mm-hmm. And it's not good for media. It's not good for the social media. But what you're seeing now is pure football. Both these teams are going to have to run the ball to save their quarterback and hope that they can give them 3 or 4 good plays. Not great plays, but good plays during the game. They praying that one of these young quarterbacks come up big. We never had to worry about that. We never had to worry about whether Troy was going to come up big. Yes, he was a first player pick. Yes, he lived up to his billing. But we didn't have to depend on Troy to win the game. Our defense would light you up and take over the game. And that didn't matter who it was. I remember right before Alvin Harper, when we went up to California to play the 49ers. And right before, Alvin Harper went on that long catch, the seam route, Charles Haley had hit Steve Young for a loss and I think for a fumble. Charles Haley turned the game around. We had that just repeatedly, where one of our guys, Woodson will make a play, Ken Norton will make a play. But we were so caught up in the triplets, it was what they done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I see football through defensive eyes. I've always seen it that way. I will always see it that way because even if you go to the NBA championships, the better championship teams have plus defense. And that's what's going to win this thing.
Yeah, this year they're both top 5 in points allowed, both top 10 in yards allowed, both top 5 in rushing yards allowed. So it's going to be a tough battle.
The thing that
top 6.
The thing that it does not bother me that we're not talking about Sam Darnold. It does not bother me that we're not talking about Drake May. Yes, we do need for one of these young men to rise up, or both of them, so the NFL can continue with the lore of, hey, quarterback play, because that's who's going to, somebody going to get the MVP. 9 times out of 10 is going to be a quarterback. But if you're looking to have great football and all-around football, Super Bowls, I don't like blowouts. Mm-hmm. No. Unless it's the Dallas Cowboys.
Right. You enjoyed that one.
Yeah. But the thing is, you don't want to be able to leave your seat during the Super Bowl. And I'm quite sure Vegas feel the same way. Even though we can't bet and that ain't what we about, they don't want you to leave your seat. They want you to continue to chip away.
Yeah. Especially the online betting now, where you can place a bet every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but hey, man, I'm y'all guys got any question about these Super Bowls, man? Because like I tell people, it ain't hard to break down the Patriots or the Seattle Seahawks. They are so simple. Yes, they run multiple offenses, complex offenses. They can get complex, but due to the lack of experience of quarterbacks, they can't get too fancy. But the deal is we're missing on Coach Vrabel and the head coach for Seahawks. These are defensive-minded guys that are always making little adjustments in the game. You don't see those adjustments on defense as clearly as we see them on offense. Troy or whoever's calling the game come and say, hey, look at this, and they're going to circle it, da-da-da. But you know how long it'll take for them to say, this is a cover 4, this is a cover 2, this is a cover 3, this is 4-man, and then they ain't got enough time to draw up the little intricacies of a defense. They don't have the time. You don't have the TV time.
That would be my big question about this Super Bowl is it's always been a copycat league.
Yeah.
It's always been about every 3 years a new way to get to the Super Bowl and win it, right? Like when McVay came in with the Rams, it was like,
ooh, yeah,
you go all in and you play for now and then San Francisco's been doing it a different way, and the Ravens did it a different way. Is this going to be is the league going to be like, you know what? Maybe we go back to old school where you don't have to have the elite quarterback, because there aren't that many elite quarterbacks in the league right now. There's a I think 3 or 4 years, these younger guys, they're gonna figure it out and get there. But right now they're still green, right?
Yeah.
Is it gonna go back to reset to where it's like, give me a quarterback that won't lose me the game, give me a decent running back, give me some good receivers and a really stout defense, and I can get there.
The thing, and I said this last year, and I went on a lot of shows preaching this, the league has already changed. Because you got to understand, you have 4. It's been 5 quarterbacks over the last 10 years that has been in the AFC Championship game or the NFC Championship game, where the NFC has been just a flux of different guys. But the AFC is the same guys every year.
Holmes and Brady.
Yeah, that's all it's been.
Burrow in there.
Teams have finally gotten smart, and it has already happened because you have it in Drake May, youngest ever to be in a Super Bowl. He's not complete. Sam Darnold, it has to prove that he is complete. Look at the guys they beat. Look at the guys they beat. How each one of them had a different road, but we had only Josh Allen was the last big dog standing because everybody else was at home. So this league has already changed. It's like, let me build a team around let's build this team so if we happen to luck up on an elite quarterback, we'll be ready. A lot of teams have been putting all their eggs in a basket trying to move up and draft a quarterback when every year is proven you're lucky. Better than good. Yeah, for real. True. I mean, you got to say Andy Reid was so nervous, he moved down to get his guy at Kansas City. He was not, fellas, go back, do the history. Was Mahomes highly taunted? Did a lot of people talk about this kid? No, they didn't start talking about this kid until a week before the draft. Now, everybody come on I had him on my thing. Oh, yeah, you had him on your list.
He was taken too high at the time.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, unless you were a Texas Tech fan or from East Texas.
Yes, his mom and daddy.
Yeah.
And so I tell people, like, right here, teams are getting smart and saying, we have to build. We have to build our team just in case that guy falls to us, because it's more teams in the middle of the road than it is at the bottom of the draft. And what I mean by that is picking 1 through 5. 1 through 5, yeah, they're going to get better after picking 5, 10 years at 1 through 5, Detroit. You're going to get, so one day you're going to have like enough, first round picks.
You're going to hit on something.
You're going to hit on something.
Better.
But you're going to, from 15 to 32, you got to have the right GM with the right coach, with the one mindset of everybody's doing their job. That's why I'm not as high as I used to be about a new head coach, a new position player. Because I'm saying, with Mr. Chris Parker, are you going to let him really do his thing? What if he's the type of guy that want to have his players practice? I need to see you practice. No, we ain't giving no veteran day off. I want to see you practice. I need to know you can do this. I need to know you understand this. Well, around here we do it like,
that's been a criticism, that the Cowboys have kind of chased the trends. Like, oh, well, let's try this and let's try this, where they haven't set their own identity. I hope that's kind of what they're doing now with Schottenheimer and Parker and all that.
That has been besides wanting to get a big grease in the middle. Ever since we've been doing this show together, that's been my biggest. Get a big grease in the middle. That can play. But if you don't, how do you get some sports you can't get better at unless you actually do it? Soccer is one of them. Football is one of them. You have to actually do these sports to get better, to build a bond. And we have not, over the last 2 or 3 years, had people full participant, starting from OTAs, full participant. We we giving this guy a day off. This guy here banged up. Well, coach, you haven't hit. How is he banged up? But I'm just saying. Now, I was coming over here and I'm listening at McCaffrey. He's the ground FedEx Kid of the Year. He's and he's like the 8th guy I've listened to for the 49ers. He said a lot of people don't give our head coach credit because, and they said, what do you mean? Because of his standard. He's going to demand that you practice. He's going to demand that you give an all-out effort. And no matter, you can't go nowhere but to him because he's the standard setter. Now your position coaches and your coordinators have no other choice. That's why he brought Salah back, because Salah understood what he wanted. And that's why they took a mangled up defense and made it into the playoffs, because the standard is here. No matter what you're doing here, you got to get there. And so.
Well, hell, I was listening to, all the Radio Row on the local stations here. We're fortunate that we have 2 good sports talk radio stations that go out there. And I don't remember if it was Woody or Terrell Davis.
Right.
And they were talking, they said, if you didn't have a good week of practice, you didn't play in the game.
Yes.
Like, you sat. Yeah. Like, if you didn't practice good and you didn't have your head on straight, you didn't play.
Especially if you was a middle-of-the-road guy.
I was say, there's some guys that are playing. But.
Yeah, but no. But see, this is the deal. When you're drafting, I used to hear Coach Johnson say a lot. I like, Coach, man, as crazy as I was, I used to sit up and talk to coaches and ask, I guess, questions everybody else was scared to ask. I was like, Coach, why you like that guy? And he would tell me, like, hey, this guy here, I followed him from high school to college. He was always, he don't have this, but he was always this. He was always that. And that guy there, I like him because he loves the game. And all of his leaders were that type of guy. Troy loved the game. Emmett loved the game. And I remember talking to him about Charles Haley. I said, Coach, why you brought Charles Haley in here? He said, Nate, everybody I talked to him, they say, he's quirky. Yeah, he may whip it out and use it on your tire, and he may do something crazy. I'm serious. I'm giving you what he gave me, but he didn't say it as nice as I'm saying. And I said, well, what? He said, but to a man, everybody I talked to, I asked him, does he care about winning? He said, that's the only thing. That's the only thing. He said, I can deal with the crazy.
I actually wanted to ask you about that because
hang on, time out.
Oh, okay.
We have a special call-in guest, but we got to take a break before we get to him. Write that thought down because this is great stuff. We'll be right back, and then we're going to the phones when we come back. Hanging with the boys.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
At Batteries Plus, we don't just sell batteries, we recycle them too. So don't toss your old ones. They're packed with critical materials we can reuse. Come in and recycle old lithium batteries found in your power tools, power banks, wearables, and small electronics. You'll score a chance to win Cowboys tickets, a VIP experience, and more. Join America's team and recycle with Batteries Plus, the official battery recycling partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
Cowboys fans, SeatGeek is the only primary ticketing partner of America's team and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game, so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Cowboys games or to any other live event in DFW, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? And how about them Jimmy Dean breakfast bowls? Keep your game day celebrations going with real eggs, potatoes, cheese, and our savory Jimmy Dean sausage. And with 22 grams of protein per serving, you'll have enough energy to power you from early morning to the final whistle. The no-hassle, ready-in-minutes prep makes it easy. Just heat, eat, and cheer on those Cowboys. Get yours today. Jimmy Dean brand is proud to be the official protein of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment, Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every show by blockchain.com. There we go, and on the phone live, Jesse, Salt and Pepper Poppy from Radio Row. Well, you were on Radio Row. You had to go upstairs because we hear it's very crowded out there this year. Maybe a smaller venue than normal?
Yeah, smaller venue than normal. Wednesdays and Thursdays are kind of the zoo days. Like, it is just everybody is kind of matriculated here by then. And the convention center, it's a multi kind of floor convention center, but the biggest area they have is not big enough for all to fit inside. So you'll have like people still outside outside in the hallways in the convention center with setups and things like that, and it's not big enough for the amount of people here. Somebody had their numbers wrong.
Yeah, and you hear, I'm a firm believer in, don't believe everything you read and hear unless you see it with your own eyes. But I've heard for a few years now that San Francisco is literally a human urinal. You can attest to that firsthand.
Yeah, man. And I don't want to crap on the city too bad, man. But this place is it's not a good place. It's not a. If the Super Bowl doesn't come back here anymore, I would not be upset at that. It is just. Everything, first of all, it's super expensive. Everything is kind of spread out kind of far. And anything around the convention center, people will tell you that live in the Bay Area, if you're anywhere near what they call the Tenderloin, and not that area of the Tenderloin, but the Tenderloins, it is bad. It is bad, man.
And you know what?
That's unfortunate.
That's surprising because one of your dearest and probably fondest memories of the NFL occurred in that city.
Yeah, but it was far away from the Tenderloin. I can tell you that much.
Okay, all right, that explains it. Who is? Have you seen anybody that? And we know you don't get starstruck, but is there anybody that that you saw this week?
Got me today. Yeah. Who? I just saw him about 15 minutes ago, and my man Crush Monday. Fred Warner.
Who?
I saw Fred at
Fred Warner.
Was he just as glamorous in person as he is on TV?
He was, man. And the thing about Fred is every bit of 6'4", like every bit of 6'4", and so always good coiffed hair and skin is immaculate. He got his gallon of water. I said I could appreciate a man who drinks a gallon of water a day, and he just looks like a baller. Like he just looks like a football player. And he was right next to where I was set up at, and I was tempted to ask for a picture, but I said, "Nah, that's not what you do, Jess." But yeah, so he was the one I was like, "That's my dude. That's That's Fred.
So my pants would have been jumping then, huh?
Man, I'm telling you, you wouldn't have been able to get up off the table. You'd have to push way back. You would have had to push way back, or you'd have knocked the whole setup off.
Who's the best interview you've had all week?
Man, not even me. Let me just say, let me give my coworker some credit. Clarence Hill Jr. is an animal.
Has he been
and I mean that in the
Has he been working?
I mean that in the best way. Yes, I mean that in the best way possible. This dude is insane. He knows everybody, and two, when it comes to getting an interview or question asked, he does not take no for an answer. And to start the week off, we were really the only people to get George Pickens, to get Dak Prescott talking from the Pro Bowl, to get Micah talking from the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
and
he got a kind of scoop there, Micah, didn't he?
Yeah. And so they had these horns that they blow to get you off the field. Like, all right, interviews are over. And they blew the horn at least 6 times. And Clarence got 3 more interviews. Like, it was just like he is just absolutely relentless. But overall, it's just been a good week. Our buddy Dave Hellman, former DallasCowboys.com employee, we talked with him this morning. Got Woody. Chad had a really good. Chad Ochocinco was really good. We got CD Lamb today, so that'll be coming out tomorrow. Michael Irvin. Which, by the way, this is just between us girls, okay? This is between us girls. I hope no one else is listening. There may be a part 2 of something that Michael and I was involved in some years ago. There may be. Just us girls.
You're making
just
a comeback.
Us girls
are
talking. I'm just saying, just us girls are talking here. I'm just saying, just keep that between us.
Okay.
I'm gonna call my boy the Turk. I need to come back.
Yeah.
Reunite.
Y'all was getting some good checks back then, Dave. Y'all was getting some real. That VH1 and that 8-ball production. Y'all was getting some nice checks back then.
Yeah, for real.
Nate's like, yep, bring it back. I remember.
We call him. Thanks for that.
Did CD drop anything on you that was newsworthy that you can talk about or tease for your show that's dropping tomorrow?
I actually didn't listen to the interview. I walked off.
What?
So I don't know.
Man.
I did. I walked off.
Be careful. Be careful with the word drops around CD, all right?
Wow.
Ooh.
Nate.
I'm just joking. CD, my boy, man. That's my boy.
Jesse, something we wanted to ask you that CD actually said that he was fine if George Pickens made more money than him. Do you think that's true?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. And the reason why I do think it's true is because, CD got all that he can get in his year. And for him, he understands that winning brings more money. Mm-hmm. And so if that means that George gets slightly above him, then for CD, he just goes, okay, cool, we got him, we lock him up, we go and win some, we go and do some more things now. I come up again because my production's not going to drop like that. Mm-hmm. I'll come up again and I'll get more the next time.
So I think he raises the bar for everybody by getting paid more than him. Next time his deal comes around, his deal is going to be worth more.
And not only that, because CD's a guy who's Dak's he'll be going into year 11 next year. CD will be going into year 6, right? 5 or 6. These guys haven't won anything, and I think this year they kind of felt offensively that this was probably one of the best overall pieces that they had. And when you look at the landscape of the National Football League, and I'm sure CD does, and I'm sure that Dak does, they're looking around the league and they're saying, if we don't have this type of duo, we really won't be able to do anything. So they want to win. I think winning is as the maturity comes about, Dak has got paid, CD's got paid. These guys, they have the money now. Now their focus is, I can't focus on money anymore because I got my money. Now I need to focus on how can we put together the best possible team that money can buy, that the ownership will allow, for us to actually go and win something. Because it's all good and well to get the money, but once you get it, now what? And I think those guys, those veterans on this football team, like CD, like Dak, understand now that we have to do what we have to do to go and win. We got our bread. Let's go try to win championships now.
Before we let you go, we know you're busy. Do you like?
No, I'm staying. I'm staying for the rest of the show.
Oh, you are?
Segment 2 and 3.
Oh,
yeah, I got
okay.
nothing else to.
You got to get that $10.
Oh, Chris didn't let us know that.
I carved out time. For you guys.
Okay. Well,
he just let me know.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll take a break real quick then, since you're going to be
That's
with us.
not true, Chris. I text you segment 2 and 3.
Yeah, you did. Right before you called.
Yeah.
They were on the air.
Why don't y'all fight about it?
CD,
Yeah, we will.
CD Pickens quit. Let's go.
All right, we're going to take a break since you're going to be with us, Jesse. We'll save your prediction until the third.
What prediction?
Super Bowl prediction.
Oh, Jesus.
Be right back on Hanging with the Boys.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Cowboys fans, SeatGeek is the only primary ticketing partner of America's team and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game, so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Cowboys games or to any other live event in DFW, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. SeatGeek.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the final segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every show by 7-Eleven. Kurt,
Yeah.
get your everyday essentials at your nearest 7-Eleven, whether you're Team Big Gulp, Gulp Gulp, or Team Slurpee.
No, I'm not now.
7-Eleven is always open and ready for you
sipper.
24/7.
I'm a sipper.
All right.
I think the 7-Eleven people know what they're doing, giving us that read.
They probably gave it to the wrong show. But that's fine. I like it. It mixes it up a little bit. Sure. Sipper. Jesse, what else? Wait, real quick before we get back to Jesse. Kurt, you were making a point. You were asking a great question. Jesse, before you
we was
jumped
telling
on.
stories, so no, Jess, come on, man. No, that's going to take too long. It'll take the rest of the show.
Well, no, it was a great question. Just one question, then we'll jump back to Jesse.
Well, I don't know how good it is, but anyway, I was reading a story recently on Connor McDavid, who's maybe the best hockey player in the world right now.
Yeah.
And they talked to him about his thing was, I want to win. That's it. I don't care about all the other accolades, all this. I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. That's all he lives for. Wow. And it made me think, like, that was that the team of the 90s. All the other S going on.
Yeah.
It was all about we just want to win. And maybe is that something that's maybe missing today?
This is what's amazing. That's why when I look at quarterbacks, I judge from my quarterbacks. And I'm talking about the Steve Youngs, guys of that ilk, Troy, because they did everything possible to win. Even you don't think Troy could have threw for 3,000, 4,000 yards every year. You know, Troy had an arm as powerful and as accurate. Now, I don't know about the quick release as Dan Marino. You know, I don't know about the quick release part, but everything else, he was sharp. He was on time, and he could do it. But he gave up a part of his game so that we can flourish as a run team. You know, he did that, man. Elway had to figure out, like, you know what? I done took us to 2 Super Bowls. I got to give up part of this throwing and running around and get that ball to the dude that's in the backfield and let him run. So a lot of guys will make that sacrifice if you have the right pieces in place. And they can see, and you can make them see the picture. Look, we got this defense that's awesome, that suffocates folks. We got a running back that's legit. We got tight ends, wide receivers. We got a complete team. You don't have to win this. And once you learn that, that is why Tom Brady was so great. Because if it took him throwing that ball 25 times to the running back, he was going to do that. Mm-hmm. You know, and if it took, like Mahomes did in his second Super Bowl, hey, man, that they won. You know what? We need to run this ball to be able to win this game. He did that. The great ones will step aside, because at the end of the day, we ain't talking about the running back. We talking about how great Mahomes is. At the end of the day, you know, Emmett is the exception. We don't talk about Emmett as much as we talk about Troy. But you put Troy, everybody, Troy's stats don't equal up to this guy's stats. And Troy, you know, but his Super Bowl, your guy don't equal up to his Super Bowls either. You get what I'm saying?
Jesse, do you think today's athlete, and this is kind of a generalization, I don't really like to do that, but do you think today's athlete, with everything, you can be your own podcast guy, you can be a social media star and not be that great on the field, you can have your own YouTube channel, the endorsements, the money, the fame, the women, all that's always been there, but now it's magnified. Do you think it seems like back in the 90s, in the 80s, like winning was the thing. That was all that you cared about as an athlete. Do you think winning is devalued now because you can still get gratification and you can still get validation and all that through many more channels than you used to be able to? Because if you didn't win, nobody knew your name. You weren't in the Super Bowl. You weren't in the playoffs. Now you can kind of do your own thing. Do you think the value of winning has been diminished?
Yeah, and it's not just to answer your question, yes. Yes, but it is not just the pros. I mean, we have created and built a society where everyone gets a participation trophy. Everyone should be able to participate. When you guys were growing up, when I was growing up, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like you get praised just because you tried, you know, or hey, you're on the team, so you know you should get in. And if you don't get in, I'm going to go tell the coach and have mommy and daddy go talk to the coach. And so now we've created this culture of it's not about winning; it's about everybody having a good time. Everybody should be able to participate. And so that has filtered. And this is not a this year thing, but this is built up over time where the athlete that is now, you know, and Beam understands this. Beam helps for his kid's football team, and right, and let a kid not. It's probably built into the rules now. Oh, you got to play this kid. You got to do this, and then let a parent not have their son not play. You know, in a game or two, they're like, oh, well, you know, little Johnny should be playing in there. You beat these guys by 21 points. Why is little Johnny not in the game? And then you have to ask yourself the question, you know, you then have to ask yourself the question of, well, little Johnny's not good enough. This is why little Johnny doesn't play. Well, that then goes into high school, and it's the same thing, right? Are we winning? And does that matter that we're winning because little Johnny's not playing? And it's the same thing in college. And now in college, it's incentivized because of the NIL. And then you get to the pros, and now guys get into the pros, and it's like, well, winning now today means, do I have the most followers? Do I have a YouTube page? Is my Instagram popping? Is my TikTok popping? Do I got my chains, my goals, and all that kind of stuff? And so we're losing, as Michael would say, we're losing recipes, right? We're losing losing the competitive spirit overall. Now, you still have some people who want to compete and win, but the competitive spirit, the will to win, the want to win, what looks like success now didn't look like success back when Nate was winning championships. What was success when Nate was winning championships was winning damn championships. Now you could be an absolute loser, but because you have 1 million Instagram followers or your YouTube has 100,000 subscribers, you look like a winner. And to the common eye, people are saying, well, yeah, he hadn't won anything, but his YouTube page is popping, or, his podcast is popping. And so it definitely has devalued what the overall winning has or should be. But then for those who still want to win, and Nate made a great point in saying they built great teams, right? Like if you want to go win and be successful, you got to go. Like, your team has to be willing. Your team's front office people have to be willing to put the best team out there, because it's far too much talent. Coaching has become so far advanced, and if you don't get to a place of being able to compete on the coaching side as well as the roster side, you'll just keep finding yourself with really good players who will make some plays, but you'll never be successful because you just don't have the physical makeup and the team makeup to go and win it all.
The mental makeup is so great. And you listen to other players on other teams and winning teams, and I ain't talking about just teams that pop up here and there. I'm talking about teams that do it year in and year out, competing hard, playing hard. Everybody's on the same page. What are you going to do today to improve yourself? A lot of guys, like you say, we've had it here where guys running at halftime and checking these phones. Mm. How can you run in at halftime and check your phone when this dude just took you 90 yards on a bomb? How can you check your phone? And we are part of the hypocrisy too, if that's the word. Because we
hypocrisy.
We sit up and say, "Oh, that's okay, that's all right." We are part of that. Oh, he's a good guy. I've done shows where people say, "Be careful, he this." I'm like, man, I don't care. I mean, if you lie on a player, you're a bad person. And I'm saying this because I'm talking about me and Jesse, not you two guys. If me and Jesse sit up and lie on a guy when we know better, that's bad. But when we tell the truth, that's great. Now, we got to present it the right way.
Right.
We ain't trying to slaughter this guy or discredit this guy. We telling you what we saw on film. Don't come at us because you can't dissect the film correctly. Because you blinded by X, or you blinded by Instagram. So I'm with you, Jess. I'm with you 100%. We have to, as parents and as adults that deal with kids, let them stay in their place. When we were growing up, and I was little Johnny, and Jesse was little Johnny, when you wasn't good enough to play football, you went and found another sport. Because we weren't going to waste all the money. You spend more money on participation trophies. Take that money and put it towards helping the team win, and let little Johnny and Barbara Sue go play another sport. Maybe you good at the band. Quit trying to live through your kids, parents. Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, good stuff, fellas. Man, I wish we had another 2 hours to do this.
But I had a story to tell, but
Oh, tell it. We got time.
No, we ain't got time to tell. Remember we was talking about
1 minute.
Nobody's after us.
No, Chris got to get home, man. He got kids.
Nate's got somewhere to be. You know that.
Oh,
Jess, hey, Jess.
Yo.
Hey, tell Clarence, boy, good job, man. Tell him great job. I mean,
It's a contract year for Clarence. You know, he working hard.
There you go. The truth comes out.
Yes, sir.
It's contract year for Chill. He looking at the numbers and saying, I got kids in college. He trying to get it right now. I'm not messing, but it is contract year for him. But he's a beast, man. He gets it done.
Jesse, what do you like this matchup this weekend? And then give us your score prediction.
I think I don't hate the matchup. I mean, it's not the most exciting matchup. I don't think you're going to get like a high-flying, Super Bowl that we'll look back on and go, oh, my God, that Super Bowl 60, whatever number we're on now, was just the greatest thing ever. It'll be good. Of course, my bias, right, is always with my Tar Heels. And so I would love to have Drake May go and win a Super Bowl, but he has to play better than he's played his last 3 weeks because he's going up against a really good defense. But I do think Seattle edges it out in a tight game to win a Super Bowl. And just because I'm messy, Jesse, I just can't wait to see Tank Lawrence unleashed until I told y'all to all the people who said that he wouldn't get a Super Bowl when he went to Seattle.
You want to give us a score, or are you going to hold off on
that? Yeah, give me Seahawks 23-17.
23-17. Kurt.
I know everybody's the Seahawks the big favorite, but I mean
Seahawks by 4.5.
Thinking the ghost of the past, the Patriots gonna rise up.
I mean the Patriots are second in points for and 4 points against.
Take them. Take them.
No,
ride with them.
I'm going with Seattle. But I think it's going to be closer than some people.
Oh man, I didn't believe it.
All right, what's your?
I'll say Patriots. I mean Seattle wins it late, like 27-24.
27-24.
You don't believe in his eyes.
Nate.
I just think it's going to be closer.
I'm an NFC man.
NFC?
I've always been an NFC man. Yeah, you can put whatever score
I'll just put a
want.
check mark by Seattle. Chris, what do you got? Beam. Come in, Beam.
Hold on, I got to turn down some stuff. I'm going to go with
You in there watching Bad Bunny?
No, I'm not.
Getting familiar.
No, Olympics. Let's go with. I'm going to go with Patriots. Let's go with Patriots.
Okay.
See that?
Score.
You need a score? Let's go 28-27.
28-27.
Game winner.
I'm going to go Seattle just because one of my best friends is a huge Boston sports fan, and I do not want to hear about the Patriots for the next year and how Drake May is a second coming of Tom Brady and have to deal with that. So I'm going to say I think it's going to be a barn burner because everybody thinks it's going to be a defensive game. 31-30, Seattle. So we will see. And quick question for you guys before we get out of here. With the way these two teams are built, and we were talking about this a little early, Jesse, with being a copycat league, I think this shows that the business side of football is becoming even more and more important than the players. Obviously, the players play the game, but the way you assemble teams and work the salary cap and look at how they treated Russell Wilson in Seattle and then Denver and got rid of him and ate the contract and then restarted with these younger quarterbacks. Do you think this is just a weird 3 or 4 years where we're in a transition from the old guard to the new guard at quarterback where you had the superstar quarterback and you built a team around him? Or do you think maybe this is a new way of doing business to where give me a quarterback with a decent to small contract and I'll build the team around him that can get us there? Do you think this is a new way of doing business or just a weird place where there's not those elite quarterbacks to grab up right now and build teams around?
I think we're in that spot where there isn't just enough elite quarterbacks to go around right now. Because you play this game of football, you don't have a quarterback, you ain't got nothing. But you do have a herd of coaches that are understanding now, if I can't get an elite one, if I can get a really good one, then I can just build everything around them and then have them be, risk averse and can probably win out, a lot more games there. But if you can, trust and believe me, you want elite quarterback play if it's possible to obtain.
Okay. I just wondered if it was something new or if this was just
what I was telling them, it's already here. It's already here because it's 5 quarterbacks. We talk about every year, and it hasn't changed. We've added Dak. We've added Dak to that quarterback conversation. It hasn't changed. So teams are forced, whether they want to or not, to build until they get that opportunity Because, like I was saying to these guys, the top 5 teams, you get that top 5 talent, but from 15 to 32, you're going to have the right player personnel guy. You're going to have the right scouts going out, trying to build a foundation. You got to. Because if you're waiting on your quarterback and you giving all your draft picks trying to move up to get this guy, and he's not what you think he is, like you say, the Jets have been doing forever. Detroit did until they got Dan Campbell. You're going to be just going over the same thing every year. So I'm not trading my picks. I'm using my picks, and I'm making sure these guys love and want to be football players, instead of rappers. Come on, man. We don't need multi-talented guys. We need football players. You agree, Chess?
Listen, I saw Fred Warner today. That's a football player, Jesse, right there. We need more like him.
Yeah.
We need more like him.
All right, well, Jesse, watch where you step when you walk outside. Make sure you don't get nothing on your
make
shoes.
sure you don't wind up in the bay, dog. They lost a lot of guys out there trying to escape.
You would know better than I do.
Oh, yes, sir. I do know. I do know, bro.
Well, Jesse,
every time I go to San Francisco, I get a little shaky.
Be safe on the way back, Jesse. We'll see you next week. We'll recap the Super Bowl, start talking about the draft. Nate, I think you're out next week, right?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I am.
All right, so we'll have three of them.
Alcatraz, baby, Alcatraz.
All right.
Poppy will be back.
Yes, sir. Enjoy yourself, fellas. Good show. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Take Monday off. Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. Josh, thanks for keeping them company. See you next Thursday on Hanging with the Boys.
We out.
Okay.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?